So to start off, my name is Nate Robert-Daze. I own a company called RenderVision, and it also has a product, a software called Vision Interactive. That's what you see on my hat. So pretty much for the past 3 years, we've been helping real estate developers and really end renters or buyers in general to help visualize properties that are unbuilt. So one of the biggest challenges with real estate is sometimes, with the connect between architectural plans and the built reality, the built, product. What happens in between that? There's so much like gray area. There's so much like unknowns, and there's so much like inefficiencies that happen in between that process simply because of the fact that people cannot see it. Right. Just think about you trying to build a new house right now, right? Most people go into trying to build a new house or trying to get a new apartment not knowing what the hell they're looking for. And that's just fact. But I believe if we can create tools and if we can create services that allow people to be able to visualize, then we'll all be better off. We'll save more time, we'll save more money, and we'll save headache, in that process. And so, like I said, for the past 3 years, I've been running RenderVision and really serving real estate developers to help get their visions out of their head, and onto 3D space. And in doing so, we've been able to help them raise money, convince the city, convince, people that are trying to buy from them and get projects built. The natural next step of that, when you're in a business, you're always thinking, okay, how can I make more money, right? What happens is you then have to start thinking about how you can solve a bigger problem. And so we just wanted to solve a bigger problem for our clients, for people in general, since we've committed to helping people with visualization. So we created a tool that takes virtual reality and augmented reality and brings it into real estate purchases or real estate sales, if you will. And so that's the tool called Vision Interactive. And so I'm going to show you a demo here in a minute about like what it does and its functionalities. But the idea of the concept here was to gamify the process of getting a house or visualizing your new property and make it exciting again, because of the things that have been happening since the pandemic, because of prices rising and falling, because of all of these different things, getting a property or getting a home is not exciting as it once was. And so we wanted to bring some of that excitement back to that whole process, whether it's for real estate developers actually building a property or for someone buying one or renting one. And so I'm going to share my screen here. I'm going to start showing this. All right. So let me go home here. All right, so this is the general interface. What it has is a collection of different projects that you can see on the left. Everything's on the cloud, so it's lightning fast. But pretty much when you upload a project, it allows for you to be able to see not only a display of the project, which I'm going to show you, but a virtual walkthrough of the project. It has description of the project. You can share it. You can view the website, the brochure, see all the marketing materials, get in contact with an agent and everything, all right here through this interface. And so the first project I'm going to show you is called Altitude Broad Beach. And the first functionality I'm going to show you is called the interactive display. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm kind of moving my finger around my iPad. By the way, this app is available on all devices, iPad, all Apple Store stuff, iPhone, all of that stuff. It has a web app as well as it's available on the Play Store, and Oculus Store as well. So if you have the goggles, you can experience it as well.
Awesome.
So what I'm doing here is, what'd you say?
That was going to be my question about the Oculus Quest 2, because I have some VR goggles and I wanted to check this out with.
Yeah, so we have an app on the Oculus Quest And so you can definitely download it, and the experiences are much more immersive on that app because, of course, you have the goggles on. You can't really see anything else, so you can just like walk around in the property. But they get quite close to immersive as it pertains to these like augmented reality walkthroughs. So I'm gonna show you that as well.
Okay.
So, like I said, I'm just moving around. I'm moving my finger around the building. You can see the ocean. It's relation to the ocean. You can see its relation to other buildings in the distance. You can kind of get a general understanding of the scale because basically it's a 3D building superimposed on a site. And so if I start moving my finger up and down the building, you can kind of see the floors that are not available in gray. And then you can see the floors plans that are available up here in green. And so if I click on one of those, it allows you to see all of the available floor plans on that particular floor. And it also allows you to filter it by bathrooms, bedrooms, garages if they have them, price, level, level of the floor, and all of those different things. If I like one of these floor plans, let's say I like, 3101, right? It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. I want to see the relationships of the spaces. I want to see kind of how everything flows. I can actually also see a view shot of what it looks like from outside of that particular floor. So this is the 3rd floor looking out. This is what you would be seeing as you're looking out the window. Another thing you can do is see, where your floor or where your unit sits in relationship with other units on that same floor. So you're going to see, what walls are connected to somebody else's walls, how that all relates, right? Which is important. A lot of people don't think about that. And then another thing it could do is you can actually inquire about this property. Let's say you like this particular unit right here. You can put in your name, your address, your phone number, and you can make some comments about, what you love or hate about it. And so the next best thing about this app is the walkthroughs. There are 2 types of walkthroughs. There are self-guided walkthroughs, and then there are guided walkthroughs. Guided walkthroughs is when, yourself, Corey, you could be at home and I could be here. And you could actually walk me through a property virtually, and we could talk just like we're talking now. Literally, we can change materials in here, talk about, the countertops and everything like that. And I can sell you the property while you're in another country or in another universe or whatever. And so if I start clicking around here, this is kind of like a typical virtual walkthrough to where you just kind of like double click the ground plane and it takes you around the unit. I can also teleport to different rooms. So if I click this right here, this pin right here, I can go to the living room, I can go to the kitchen, balcony, entryway, laundry, and I can, look around and see, all of the different functionalities of the space. Another thing it could do is it can change themes within the app itself. So if I want to make this, let's say, I want to go with a darker theme in my unit. I like the white, but hey, do y'all got anything else? I can then switch to dark, and now you're looking at another version of that particular design. But another thing that is very exciting about what this app can do is its guided walkthroughs. So right now you're looking at real space. This right here is my apartment. Excuse the mess, but every camera or every phone or every device has an AR camera within it. Anytime after, like, I believe 2016 or 2017. And so what that camera allows you to do is it allows you to understand, it has spatial awareness. So basically it detects the room and understands where the planes are, the ground plane and, the planes. So if I click on this, it actually puts me back in the space. And now I have a walkthrough, an augmented reality walkthrough. And so I'm moving my device here. I'm moving my iPad up, so I'm looking up. I'm moving my iPad down, so I'm looking down. And it's so realistic that you can kind of even start getting down into, the actual materials of the space. So I'm literally walking in my apartment and I'm zooming in by putting my camera close to the things in the space. You see this Dior, book and everything like that. And so I can walk around, and as I walk around, I'm actually in the space. So it's completely immersive, and it gives you this kind of feeling that you're here, and you can literally get lost in the space. And so that's another thing that it can do. The last thing I want to show you is the dollhouse renderings. So this is another thing. It basically allows you to place the model on any surface. So this right here, this is my desk. It's detecting my desk as a plane. And if I click that, it allows me to place the actual model on this desk. So let's say, for instance, you're at a leasing center and they're trying to show you a particular, unit type, but you're in a conference room. They can actually show you the actual spaces by just placing it on the table. So now we're looking at, okay, this is the bedroom there, that's the bathroom they get, this is the living room, out to the balcony. I'm looking at the glass, everything. It's almost like a physical model, but in 3D space. So this is what they call mixed reality. Yeah. So I'm gonna go home here. There's one more thing I want to show you. You were talking about that you were building, you're thinking about possibly doing some real estate in the future, right?
Yeah, so I am looking to develop my own property. It's going to be like a modern duplex. So I'm looking for that to be my first investment home.
Okay. Yeah, so it has a tool that will be very useful for what you're trying to do. And so I'm going to show you one of the properties that we did that showcases this. Do a walkable tour. So the same thing here. Click the ground plane, and now I'm looking at the home.
This is next level, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. So as I'm clicking through here, because you can actually walk, but to teleport faster, you just click through or whatnot. I'm turning my iPad to the left as if it's my eyes. So basically, this thing works as your eyes, basically. And I'm turning to the right. You can see the laundry room. I mean, look at how.
Yeah, everything looks for real. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So if I come back out here to the hallway, these dots starts popping up, right? So what these dots do is if I click one of those, it allows me to change the material in real time.
Wow.
So it changes the flooring in the full space. I can change it back to carbonized oak. And then if I walk over here to the countertop and I click that, I step back a little bit, I can actually see, okay, 1 second. I can actually start changing the whole package, the whole kitchen package.
Wow.
So, you said you're looking to get a rental property, an investment property. Right here, you can actually pick all of the fixtures and the design of how the space is going to come together before it's even built. So you don't have to go in and build it, or you don't have to go to the store and see something that you love and not know how it's going to look in your space.
Right.
You will know everything. You will know its relationship to, other things in the space. You will know how it looks against the other furniture, fixtures, materials, and all those things that you're trying to put in. And it just takes away that problem of not knowing that costs us so much more, so much money.
Right.
Time. So yeah. That's pretty much, it has some more stuff, but for the time that we have, that's what I can show right now.
Wow. That's really awesome. Some really groundbreaking technology. Does this have the capability to allow you to actually like develop the home in the application?
So
like, how are they being developed?
That's a good question. So my company actually does the 3D modeling. So typically what happens, you create the floor plans and like all of the architectural drawings first. And then once those are created, it allows you to take those and create a 3D model out of it. And that's when you apply all the textures, materials, and fixtures, furniture, all that stuff onto it. And then it's then integrated into the app, which allows you to, you know, interact with it and do everything you need to do within the app.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Where can people like find your company at? What's your website called? You know, what is it called in the App Store? How can you find it on Oculus?
Yeah. So it's called Vision ESN. If you go to our website, visioninteractive.com, you'll find everything there. You can actually download the app from there. Then also, if you go into the App Store, you go into the Oculus Store, it's the same name, you know, across the board. So it's Vision Interactive.
Okay, awesome. And is Vision Interactive like subscription based?
So it's free for users. So we charge real estate development companies to use it on a monthly basis. But for users like you and I, it's completely free.
Okay, so once you want to start actually developing, like creating your own use cases, then it would cost money.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
mean,
But for you to actually use and interact with the app, it's completely free.
now for a person that is a developer, how much does it cost?
That's a great question. So I typically like to tell people we charge in three ways. Like basically there's three layers of pricing. The first layer is all the modeling, what I told you about, like basically when we take the 2D blueprints and make them into a 3D model. So that's its own charge. So it's like more of a service-based charge. After that, we have an integration phase to where we take that 3D model that we built and then we gamify it. We put it in the app, we make it interactive, and we do all those things. We make you able to, you know, look around and, you know, do all that stuff. And then lastly, we charge a subscription-based fee, which is just to host it on the app. So month to month, it allows you to be able to send hot links or QR codes to clients. So let's say, for instance, someone's building a house in Texas, and you know you're interested in that house, and you're thinking about it. They could just shoot you over a QR code and say, "Hey, experience it like right now," and you would be in the house within minutes. So we charge a subscription fee for that.
Okay, awesome. Yes, really next level. How much so you said it's like three different plans. How much
Yeah.
is like the plan for creating it from 2D to 3D?
So we charge about 25 cents, 25 to 30 cents per square foot.
Okay.
That's what allows us to be pretty nimble in the type of project we work on. Because let's say if it's, you know, let's say if it's a single family, right? Um, because it's a per project, it's on a per project basis, and it's a per square foot basis. That wouldn't cost as much as, you know, a high rise, right? And so for typically, you know, for that phase, it can range because it depends on what type of project it is. But you know, for a single family home, you're looking at anywhere from, you know, a few thousand. It can be less than 1,000. Of course, if you're getting into like, you know, 20 foot, 2,500 square foot and less. Um, but when you get into the high rises and stuff, I mean, it can get into the 40s or 50s of hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, that makes sense because I mean that's a lot of drawing and
Yeah,
3D rendering that you got to do. So
yeah,
completely makes sense. But I think that gives people a good, you know, depiction of how much their project would cost if they wanted to use this service, with it being like 25 cents per square foot. So I think that's a good, representation of what somebody would be looking at in order to develop their project.
yeah.
But it's definitely amazing technology. Kudos to you. Love
Thank
what
you, man.
I hear. This is what, like I said, this is what tech is all about. And we want to show people that you can use tech to do these type of things.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's all problem solving. As much as we can make things simpler for people, save them money, save them time. That's what matters.